Hello, my name is Kari Giles, and I'm here to walk you through the 9th and 10th grade level excerpts. We will start with the Irish folk melody. This is very important to get a very clean and clear articulation. I would practice slowly and practice your subdivision so that you get a very even distribution between your dotted 8th and your 16th. The stroke is done in the middle to upper middle of the bow, making sure that we stop and re-articulate by biting the string on the 16th note. Starting in measure 9, there are some fingerings that are optional because there's nothing there. I was just going to share what I decided to do there. The downbeat of measure 9, I go to 3rd position, 2nd finger on that E flat. And I'm going to stay in 3rd. It's a bit of an awkward position. We were going to have a really low 1 on the A flat and a really high 4 on the G flat. Okay. Starting the pickup to measure 13, so the last beat of measure 12, I'm going to shift to 5th position on the C natural. Okay, going to do a couple of beats there. And on that last B flat in measure 13, I'm going to hop down back to 3rd. Then I'm going to move up half step and go to 4th position. And finish out there. Here's the entire excerpt. Bach Minuet, a Baroque style, so perhaps a lighter bow, and I prefer to do minimal vibrato on this. Before we begin, I'd like to look at the 3rd line that starts on measure 33, and just point out some fingerings that I like to do there. So we're starting in 3rd position on that F sharp. Then I'm going to shift up to 4th. For that little beat there. Otherwise, that slide to the E harmonic doesn't sound and fit with the Baroque style to me. Then back to 3rd. Down to 3rd so that we can get a smooth legato. Still in 3rd here. 5th position on the C sharp. High 3 for the A sharp. You're going to fill a whole step to your 4. And then back down to 3rd. That's going to repeat on the 4th line. One other thing that I just like to point out is that I have my stand fairly low. And I don't really recommend that for an audition setting. Please feel free to adjust your stand to the height that you can best see. A lot of times when we keep our stand too low, we start to hunch over and then we lose our posture. So this is just for recording purposes. We will begin with the Maz's etude. This etude is tricky because of all the string crossings that happen. So it's super important that you have a very crisp and short stroke and that you change to your new string while your bow is stopped. Otherwise, you're going to get a lot of surface noise in between. So starting in the middle of your bow, make a nice short staccato on the string, change, and then go again. I would like to point out that one of the notes that I personally kept missing is in measure 7 on the third beat. That is an A natural. The first two beats you're skipping between D string and A string, or D string and E string, I should say, and then that one switches it up on you and you're only going to the A string, so it's not quite a big of a jump. The other interesting bowing thing in this is that in measure 13, we have a legato. Also have that in measure 15, legato strokes there. Versus measure 19, where they put a double staccato. So just a little detail to notice for that. Watch out for your vibrato in this etude. Don't over vibrate the eighth notes. They will tend to sound out of tune. Instead, save your best vibrato for your dotted quarters. I would like to point out that I have my stand very low. This forces me to look down, and I do not recommend it for performance purposes. It affects our posture if we're not really careful. So in your audition, please feel out to adjust the stand to a height that feels more comfortable and appropriate for you. This is the second movement of the Mendelssohn Violin Concerto, perhaps one of the more beautiful and lovely pieces that we get to play as violinists. Totally opposite style from what we just did. We are now looking for long, beautiful legatos and lots of lush, warm vibrato. I will point out one fingering that I chose to do differently than what is written in the part in measure 36 on the long C. Third finger. My third finger vibrates much better than my 4, and on such a long note, I wanted to give my fourth finger a rest, so you might try that out.